Surrounded by vineyards and embedded in beautiful low mountains, Offenburg in Germany hosts the third round of the UCI Mountain Bike World Cup, presented by Shimano. Only a few days after the World Cup event in Delby Forest, the squads have packed up their stuff and continue the World Cup's journey. Offenburg's World Cup starts with a bang, the cross-country Eliminator. This brand new sprint discipline set pattern for a spectacular mountain bike mania. 6 athletes start at the same time, 1 lap, 500 metres, and the best 3 qualified for the next heat. It's sudden death time. Among the starters, we meet an old friend. This is Brian Lopes, the legendary gravity rider.
I think it has good potential. I think it's very exciting for the spectators to watch, and it's easy to put a course together. So I think it has some good possibilities to be popular. I think maybe it's something I can do good in. I definitely need to do some more hard effort training. For one round, I'm okay, but then you have to recover, and you only have a short amount of time to recover. And this is where my fitness wasn't so good, is recovering that quick for those hard efforts. But yeah, I would consider for sure coming back to do some races. It's exciting, and I love racing bikes, so yeah.
The course for the classic cross-country challenge is hidden in this mysterious mixed forest. And if you look a little closer, you will find one of the most spectacular cross-country courses in the world.
Hey, I'm Catherine Pendrell, the Lunatics Pro Team. I'm standing here at the start-finish of one of my favorite World Cup courses, Offenburg, Germany. The course is 5.1 kilometers in length and about 200 meters of elevation change per lap, and it features tons of really great single track. The first one that you're going to see is called the dual speed, and it provides the riders 2 really fast options for overtaking each other. It's just how many drops you're more comfortable taking and how fast you're comfortable taking them. From the dual speed, we get pretty decent climb in, and then we drop down into the North Shore and then the Wolf's Drop. The Wolf's Drop looks pretty scary. It's got lots of roots, and then it ends in a steep chute. But if you just let your bike go, everything works out well usually. After you do the Wolf's Drop, you'll head up another climb and then down into the Snake Pit. The Snake Pit is a great name to describe that section because it's just this gnarl and mesh of roots, and you're trying to find the fastest, smoothest line through it. Finally, you'll come back to the start-finish line, and where you'll be surrounded by tons of fans and music and everyone just out having a good time. I think you just have to go hard, be really smooth on your bike, and be as smooth and efficient. Thanks, time to ride.
30 seconds to the start. Back onto the line, please, Igor, at that end. Back onto the line, please. You're now into your last 15 seconds. Good luck to you all. Have a good, safe race.
There's the starting signal, and it's off we go. The third round of the UCI Mountain Bike World Cup has begun. 86 riders now out on the track. And there's only one place to be on this track, and that's up front. In the lead, we've got the Italian champion, Eva Lechner. Right next to her, Sabina Spitz and Natalie Schneider in third. Natalie Schneider from Switzerland pushed out to the front. Behind her is the German Sabina Spitz and Julie Bresset in third position, with Lena Beiberg back in fourth. Schneider still out in front. Behind her with bib number 1, we see Julie Bresset, the current overall leader, pushing hard. and the rest of the big leading group. So, the end of the first lap, we've got 13 riders out in the leading group, and there's 4 laps to go. We rejoin with Julie Bresset making the pace. Behind her, the long queue with Schneider in second and Catherine Pendrell in third. Pendrell pushes through and takes the lead. The pole position keeps on changing the whole time in this race, and there's only one place to be here, and that's out in front. The dual speed, one possibility to overtake on this very demanding course in Offenburg. Back out in the lead, we see Bresset in the white leader jersey in front of Pendrell in the blue lunar jersey. These two have made a breakaway of a few seconds, and Pendrell is trying to push from behind. So it's the same situation as they enter the snake pit. The Canadian Pendrell, last year's overall winning, breathing down Bresset's neck. Eva Lechner, alone in third place there, has the Italian champion managed to shake off the peloton. So the leading group heads for their third lap, and the Wolf's Drop claims another victim. It's really gnarly over the routes. No change in the lead. Bresset and Pendrell close together. Behind them, the pursuers with Kalantiva, Lechner and Georgia Gould. Neck and neck out in the lead. Kalantiva took third and takes up the hunt to catch up the leading duo. The dual speed once again. Pendrell settles for the lower line. Bresset takes the upper line. Lechner has regained her third position with Kalantiva and Gould right behind her. The Olympic champion, Sabina Spitz, couldn't keep up with the pace. The local hero has fallen back into 10th place. It looks like she hasn't got it in her legs today. So there's Bresset and Pendrell. They've shaken off the pursuers once again. There's a really big gap back to the rest of the riders. So it's 2 more laps to go for the leaders. And with a gap of 40 seconds, the followers enter their penultimate lap. The Canadian Marie-Helene Premont leads the chasing group. The Russian Kalantiva has dropped behind because of a technical problem. Offenburg is the host of the UCI World Cup for the 5th time in a row, and it's well known for its great atmosphere and a brilliant track. Meanwhile, Bresset enters the feed and tech zone, supported by her technician, Christophe Chambard. Right now, Julie is in front of the group. Catherine Pendrell is close behind her. They keep changing out in the lead. For a course like this, you have to have the perfect equipment along with a successful strategy. So far, there's been no big technical problems, and we're really happy with the situation. And Bresset did it. She was able to shake off Pendrell, the 21-year-old young blood talent, heading for her 2nd World Cup victory. Now the French heads for her last lap. Pendrell is already 25 seconds behind. So Biberg, Lechner and Premont battle it out for 3rd position. Meanwhile, Bresset makes her way on her own. Then we've got Pendrell, also out on her own. The other girls just can't catch these two up now. And the big question is, who's won the battle for 3rd place? It's Eva Lechner. It looks like she was able to force the pace, so she's going to gain some useful seconds and make a break for the bronze medal. Julie Bresset, the young French Thunder, reaches the finish area on her way to her second World Cup victory, and you can bet she's pleased about it. Some 40 seconds later, the Canadian Catherine Pendrell crosses the line in second. And finally, Eva Lechner defends her third position. Marie-Helene Premont and Lena Biberg in fourth and fifth complete the podium roundup.
I was very happy again. For me, it's a second victory. It's very enormous. I don't understand what happens to me. It's very, very great.
And here's the official results. This means Julie Bresset maintains and extends her lead in the overall standings. And now the men are going to get started for their third World Cup challenge of the season. Also, the German local Manuel Fumek is in the zone. We meet him and the Cannondale Factory Racing team on the day before the event, when things are still a little more relaxed.
There is a Czech race, which is C1. There is a Belgian race in Boom Boom, which is Class 2. There is one in Norway.
The Cannondale Factory Racing team is a really good team and a really big team. I get the support I need, and we have a really nice staff around, so all the people, they're working for me, they do everything I need. I'm really happy to be part of it. We're not only just teammates, there's a little bit more because we spend most days of the year together, so it's more like teammates. For me it's friendship. Parties? No parties. Who told you about parties? Maybe after the season, but during the season there's no space for parties, so I'm really focused and serious on training and racing. So, but afterwards I can be a party animal, of course. At the moment, I don't really have a tactic because I'm gonna see how my legs are and everything. But of course, if I want to step on the podium, then I have to be in a front group and with the big guys. So, like I know, Julian was he won 4 times in a row, Offenburg, and it seems to me he likes the course really well. And I think he's one of those guys who is one of those guys who can win in Offenburg on Sunday.
And here he is, the man himself, Mr. Julian Absalon.
When I was young, I was thinking, okay, I want to become a rally champion because my father did rally, so I was in this atmosphere when I was young. For the next 10 years, I don't know. For sure, I'm focused now on the Olympics next year, and after the Olympics, I will see how is the motivation, because I like very, very much what I do. A big dream for the moment to become Olympic champion for the 3rd time. I like very much this track. It's close from my house, so the forest is like, I'm like at home here, and I always like the atmosphere with a lot of spectators, so it's one of my favorite World Cup.
And And now we'll see if Julian is able to win Offenburg's World Cup for the 5th time in a row.
30 seconds to the start. Back onto the line, please, either at that end. Back onto the line, please.
Seven laps to go, nearly 37 kilometers. As expected, the overall leader Jaroslav Kulhavy and Julian Absalon making the pace. One of the important tactics for this race is to be out in the leading group, otherwise you get stuck back in the traffic. Manuel Fumik now back in 8th position. Julian Absalon in the lead, the current overall leader Kulhavy in 2nd and Marco Fontana taking 3rd. Coming into the snake pit and the lead has changed. The Italian champion Marco Fontana has pushed through and taken the lead. Absalon now in 2nd and then the Czech Kulhavy. Everybody's pushing hard to keep it out in the lead. Now Fontana is making the pace. The Swiss Sauser and Schurter right on his tail. Absalon back in 4th. The German pro ski jumper Martin Schmidt is also watching the race. The lead has changed once more. Schurter now in front, Absalon 2nd. On a stroke of bad luck for the German Manuel Fumik. Already in the first lap he punctured and has fallen behind, and he's got no chance to catch back up to these guys.
Went Jaroslav by Susina. All right, halfway through the race, and the front group is moving very, very fast. It looks good for the team specialized. 3 out of 4 riders are in top 10. The leading person is always changing around, so the front group is very, very close together. No one had the mechanical so far. It looks very good for the team. Very proud of that, and looking forward. It could change quite a bit because the race is going to be long, 7 laps. It's going to take a lot of energy out of the riders, but right now it looks good for the team specialized.
And in this moment, the South African fosterling Barry Stander is out in the lead and making the pace. We rejoin the leading group at the dual speed. Again, Absalon's back in front. And the world champion Hamida landed real heavily. Check this out in the slow-mo. The front wheel just couldn't manage with the strain and buckled. It looks like he's going to have to carry his bike all the way back to the zone. Frenchman Absalon, the 2-times Olympic champion, extends his lead. The last 4 years, nobody could beat him on this track. Will he continue with his domination of Offenburg? He has attacked and pulled away from the pursuers. Some seconds behind him now, the Czech Kulhavy and the Swiss Schurter, then Fontana, Sauser and Marotte. With Barry Stander back in 6th. Not until now, the Spanish matador finally reaches the feed and tech zone. But he's got no chance to regain his place with the leaders. Okay, Absalon has already passed this section. He's going so fast we missed him. Kulhavy here in second. Fontana, the Italian joker, pushing it in third, and then we see Marotte in fourth. Absalon pedals hard, and Kulhavy is trying to catch him back up. He might even be making an attack here. Behind them, the battle for third place begins to warm up. The Swiss Sousa in front. His compatriot and Swiss champion Schurter next to him. Behind them, Marotte, Fontana and Stander. And it could be that these guys are going to be trying to give it a sprint finish. Back out in the lead, Absalon still on his own and on his way. Kulhavy has lost contact to Absalon. The fight for third position goes on. And yet the bell is ringing for Absalon's very last lap. Head down and pushing it hard. It's the only way that this guy knows how to ride. More than 30 seconds behind him, Kulhavy, winner of the last World Cup round in Dalby Forest, in second position, seems to be exhausted. He just hasn't got anything left in his legs today. Marotte, the 24-year-old young talent, has dared to break away, and now he's alone in third place. Some seconds behind him, Barry Stander, the 23-year-old South African champion. But meanwhile, Absalon is on his last meters. If he keeps it all together and doesn't get any technical problems, he's got to win this race. Kulhavy, lonely and exhausted, in second position. Then we've got Marotte, far and wide without any competition. And the big battle now is for fifth place. Everything is still in the air. We've got Fontana, Giga, Schurter and Coloma battling it out, and they're going to provide us with a really good sprint finish. Julian Absalon on the home stretch. He has snatched his first World Cup win of the season and triumphantly heralds the fifth consecutive win in Offenburg. This is one very happy Frenchman. The Czech Kulhavy has to settle for second and has to hand the leader's jersey over to Absalon. This is going to hurt. Marotte comes in third.
I'm feeling very good. It was my big goal of the season to win here for the fifth time. 6th edition, 5 edition and 5 victory. So I'm really happy. It's always a special atmosphere here with a lot of spectators, a lot of French fans. So I'm happy to win here.
So those are today's winners. In the end, it was the Spanish Carlos Coloma Nicolas who won the battle for fifth place. On the overall board, Absalon with an advantage of 40 points. Manuel Fumic came in 28 and falls back to 8th in the overall due to a technical problem. But he doesn't feel too bad about it and got straight into his training program for the next round in Mount St. Anne, Canada. So, till the next stage of the UCI Mountain Bike World Cup presented by Shimano, we say bye-bye.